I dumped her, then she tried to come back, and only in 3 weeks got a rebound. Tips to get her back. Kind of sounds like a turnaround for
Oh,
the
so
other
he dumped
question.
her, and now he's having second thoughts because rejection breeds obsession. So
Yeah.
she's got some new strange, and he's like, "Oh, wait a minute." So that happens a lot. The way I look at it, and guys that are typically call me and they're trying to get their ex back. When we get into it, it's like, especially they've been together for a while. What happens is they stop putting their best foot forward, and the reality is because they're not feeling it. And what happens, they think maybe they have another girl they met or they're talking to, and they're thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be able to line this one up," and then she bounces back to her ex boyfriend, and now she's unavailable. And he was thinking, "Oh, I was thinking this is going to be the next great love of my life," and then he's like, "I got to get my ex back."
There was a flip of a switch.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, what happens is they get back out in the dating market and they find it's not so easy. And then they start to feel fearful. And they got friends of, "Oh, you should have never dumped your girlfriend. That was stupid. She was good for you." And here's this. He hasn't met anybody new. He thought, I'm good. I'll be able to monkey branch. And I got this new girl lined up. She's even better. I like her more. And she seems to like me more. And all of a sudden, boom, she's gone. He's like, "I got to get my ex back." And I say, if you get her back, this is what's going to happen. All the things that turned you off about her, they're still there. So when you get back together, usually within 90 days, you'll realize you feel the same way now as you did then, and then you'll break up. You'll break it off once again, which is not really fair to her or you,
Mm-mm.
because you're keeping her from the guy that's going to really be excited to have her, and you're keeping yourself from finding somebody better. So if you were turned off and didn't want to stay with her anymore, even if you use what I teach in 3% Man to get her back, you'll get back to the same place you were, because I wrote about this in my book. I had the same experience. And but at least if you were the one that got dumped, then you'll end up dumping her eventually, but then at least you're not, having that rejection breeds obsession where you're the next 6 months or 2 years you're always thinking about her, thinking, "I lost the love of my life." It puts you in a position of choice. But obviously in this case, he dumped her, then regretted it. And so if you're trying to get her back, and I highly recommend against it, but you need to follow what's in the seven principles, get an ex back, apologize, tell her you'd like to rekindle things or maybe take it slow and see how it goes. Again, your job isn't as a man in a courtship is just simply to create the next opportunity for sex, to have to hang out, have fun, hook up. And she may say, "Well, I met somebody else. You can kiss my ass. No, thank you," or whatever. Just say, "All right, change your mind, get in touch," and then start dating other women and move on with your life. And if she does reach out, invite her over, hang out, have fun, hook up. Just follow what's in the book and seven principles, get an ex back. But like I say, if you were the one that dumped her because you were turned off, even if you get her back, I'm like 99% sure you'll dump her again, and that's not cool to do that.
It's just a waste of time.
Yeah,
Also, you have to
because
be.
you're fearful that you're not going to find anybody better, and that keeps a lot of people in unhappy relationships. Because the reality is, you get maybe 1 to 3 people a decade that you really click with, depending on your life path, and so it typically doesn't happen overnight. It typically, when you meet somebody, is when you're really not trying to meet somebody, when you're trying to stay single and you're trying to enjoy playing the field and you don't really want to settle down anyway. That's when a girl comes along that is so awesome to be with and easy to get along with, that it just kind of slowly over time it just happens. And the next thing you know, several months later, you're pretty much always spending your time with her.
Yeah, but anyone who dumps an ex and then wants them back, they have to be mindful of, like you said, like why they even dumped them in the first place.
Well, scarcity creates value.
Yep.
And another thing too, women are much better than men at doing this. Is men will just kind of like break up and then try and find somebody new, and they're like, "Oh no, time to go back. I didn't
Yeah.
find anybody."
Mhm.
Women,
Yep.
monkey
Yep.
bread, they have that lined up. They're ready. They're
Yep.
ready. They have the next project.
Women are the difference is women get over so much quicker because if they're the ones doing the dumping, they were at the point where they were over it.
Yeah.
But
It's
the
'cause
other
we're tired
thing
of it.
is that women are never out of the game. They're all, especially if they're beautiful, they're always getting hit on. There's always guys expressing interest. The only difference is once they're single, then all they gotta do is say yes, and boom, they're on a date. Whereas a guy, maybe they're together for a couple years, he's got to go back out. He's got to start cold approaching again. He's got to work with his flirting skills and try to get better, get back to his social life, maybe get back involved in his hobbies, get back in the gym, lose the extra weight that he's gained. And so it often takes many months for guys to get back in the dating game, where a beautiful girl's just got to basically start saying yes to the, because beautiful women always get hit on. There's always guys expressing interest, but when they're taken, they say, "I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend," and when they're not, they just say, "Okay, here's my number."
So, and the question is, the guy broke up with the girl,
And then the girl,
and then he wanted to get back with her later on.
yeah,
Because
but the girl was already
fearful he's gonna
rebounding.
lose her because now she's got another dude.
Well,
Yeah.
what if the guy per se, was trying to work on himself, and he realized that he wasn't ready for the relationship at that time, and he cared for her, but at the point in time he just couldn't give her all that she needed, and then after he found himself and got himself together, he wanted to be with her.
That's that's like a fraction of a percent of the cases. Most of the time, the guy knows that he doesn't want to stay with, just like what you experienced with your ex. It didn't work the first time, and it basically came to the same issue. There's something missing where you guys aren't clicking on the level that you need to in order to stay together.
And he got back with me knowing my circumstances and everything. So like I was saying, like, you have to, like, if you ever want to get back together with an ex, you have to be super mindful of that. Also, the thing about us women too is once a woman really believes that they can have anybody they want in the world, or anybody not in the world, they can have anybody they want, trust me, that's already dangerous enough as it is. Sounds a little bit, cocky, but yeah, you can't break that confidence.